From Ward Melville High School, Varsity Media Sports Network presents this Suffolk Division I Showdown, featuring the Patriots of Ward Melville, the number 2 seed, against the 3 seed, the Lions of Longwood. This Suffolk Division I Showdown presented by Orland and Cohen. Good evening, everyone. Dylan Butler here with Mike Hungerford. And Mike, it is Suffolk Big Boy football. Both teams coming into this game 1-0. They won their openers. It's been a while since they've last played each other. And what's great about this game is you always hear it, right? It's the styles that make the fight. And these are absolutely contrasting styles between Longwood, who's going to bring that old school smash mouth football from Middle Island, against the spread offense of the Patriots of Ward Melville.
Dylan, I am really excited to be at that. I was texting you earlier in the week, right? I was fired up to get the season started here on my broadcast. You guys had a game last week. I did not. So I'm excited to be here on a Friday night in Ward Melville. And, yes, definitely contrasting styles. And people want to say that, Longwood might be a little old school and the Ward Melville guys are in the spread, and that's modern football, whatever. At the end of the day, though, you got to block and you got to tackle. So those are 2 parts of the game that we're going to see. Both teams got to get that done, regardless of the X and O's. But it's going to be a little different, but they got to get those things done to win the game.
And also an overview of a difference between these two programs is Longwood. You see these guys right now warming up on the field. They are a football school. There is no question about it. And they've got such an incredible history. We'll detail it throughout this game. But they have guys who come there to play football. Conversely, Ward Melville, who are making their way onto the field now, the Patriots, listen, we know you know better than most, it is very much a lacrosse school, but really what's been great, what Chris Boltrick has done in his nearly decade in charge of this program, is to get that buy-in from that athlete, whether it's a lacrosse guy, whether it's a basketball guy, much like you see in Garden City. From the months of August through November, they are football players, and they've earned the number 2 seed in Suffolk County Division I, very much because that culture has changed for the better.
Coach Boltrick's done a great job of getting that buy-in and getting guys, find the athletes in the building, right? Get them playing, get them in the football culture, and even if you're not a football first guy, you can play football, and you can play high school football, and probably like I'll say it a million times in broadcast this year. You'll never forget any sport you play more than you play high school football. It's a sport you remember for the rest of your life. So to get kids to want to do that and to buy in, he's turned it around completely here. We saw him last year playing a playoff game. I was very impressed by what I saw. I'm expecting to see that again here tonight.
Yeah, Ward Melville a year ago suffering that really difficult loss in the semifinals to the eventual county champion in Walt Whitman. They took Walt Whitman right to the end. An impressive performance, knowing the players back. That's why they're the 2 seed. In Longwood, as you see Ward Melville making their way onto the field. Longwood, conversely, they lost to Comac 28-13 in the quarterfinals. 4-5 a year ago. But Sean Kluber really likes those Lions of Longwood, and it's back to that tradition. We saw it with Jeff Sipp in charge years ago when they were winning these Suffolk championships, these Long Island championships. The Lions are going to play one way, and as you said, they're going to punch you in the mouth. It's going to be ground and pound, and that's going to be the challenge for Ward Melville to try to stop that run. Let's take a look at our impact players for both teams. First, for those visitors from Longwood, and offensively, look at those numbers that Terrence Robinson put up a week ago. 19 carries, 170 yards, and 3 touchdowns a year ago, all division. He rushed for 800 yards as a junior, but also had a little bit of turf toe, so he missed a few games. And I know that you love Mason Hauser. This guy, if you want to look up Longwood football player in the dictionary, number 44 is going to be right there. He is a football player through and through, a 2-time captain, 2-time first team all-division. He's going to impact the game on both sides of the football.
Absolutely, and these are two true football guys, 2 football players, football first guys. And you can see that they're going to bring it tonight. Robinson with 800 yards, considering the time that he missed, is very, very impressive. Very impressive.
Now let's take a look at the players to watch for Ward Melville. And the Patriots have plenty of guys to keep an eye out for. There's no doubt about that. And a guy who really we'll see on both sides of the football is Nick Gaffney, the senior running back. 14 carries for 87 yards, 2 touchdowns. A co-captain. He's the first skill player in that 1,000-pound club out at Ward Melville. It's all about lifting in the weight room. Gaffney brings that strength on both sides of the football. And Josh Reddick, what an incredible football player he is. Middle linebacker, co-captain, 2-year starter for the Patriots. He's going to be a big key to trying to stop that Longwood run.
Absolutely, and getting your nose in there in the ground and pound and getting it filled up in there is going to be a thing. I was very impressed with Gaffney a year ago as a junior.
We'll take a quick break, and we'll get the opening kickoff. When we return, you're watching Suffolk Division I football right here on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports. High school football fans, for exclusive content of the 2022 season, head to the Varsity Media Pass app. Weekly podcasts, top 10 plays of the week, game highlights, and player interviews. All the content you need is right here on the Varsity Media Pass app. Available on iOS and Android. To order, visit varsitymediapass.com. Varsity. You're watching the Varsity.
Teed off by shoulder pain? We've got specialists for that. Realizing you've pulled out more than weeds? We've got specialists for that. Doing the twist making you shout? We've got specialists for that. Orland & Cohen's top orthopedic team has specialized expertise and extensive training from the nation's premier programs in sports medicine, knee, shoulder, hip, spine, hand, foot, and ankle. So you can feel better, faster.
Welcome back to Ward Melville High School. Just about set for the opening kickoff. Dylan Butler, Mike Hungerford here with you on the Varsity Media Sports Network. This Suffolk Division I showdown presented by Orland and Cohen. Mike, let's take a look at the keys here for both teams. For Longwood, it's control the clock, obviously, right? You want to ground and pound. You want to do the basics right. Block, run, tackle, and they need to be physical. Conversely, Ward Melville, look clearly, right? Stop the run. You got to be physical, but also gap responsible. And again, similar to that, be disciplined, but be tough. They want to get Longwood into those 2nd and 9, 3rd and 11 type situations. Not that Longwood can't throw the football, but in that week 1 win, they only threw it 6 times.
Sure, I think it's one of those things you got to win on the early downs and get the offensive coordinator looking down that play sheet and trying to find maybe some plays that haven't gotten a lot of reps in practice during the week, and make them a little unsure. And when those play calls come in, the kids in the huddle are kind of like, we got that one, we sure we got that one, and create that doubt sometimes. And I think also offensively, Ward Melville needs to have some good drives and not give the ball right back to Longwood. 3 and outs would not be a good thing for them because Longwood's going to probably try to eat the clock and take some more time.
Longwood will receive after Ward Melville, it looked like, won the toss. And you got to love it, Mike. There's not many of these grass fields left on Long Island. And listen, when it's late September or mid-September, early October, it's a great thing. Come November, not so much. It gets eaten up pretty well. But listen, it kind of brings you back a little bit of an old school football atmosphere here out at Ward Melville.
Yeah, great night tonight. Incredible weather for a high school football game. Mid-September, the field looks like it's in great shape. It could be cool to be in a grass field. We don't care about November, Dylan. We're here tonight on September 16th, and we're gonna enjoy what we see here tonight.
In fact, last year when they played Sachem North, a game that we had on the Varsity Media Sports Network, that game had to be moved. Really not too far down the road out to Stony Brook. Not a bad alternative site for this program to play their games, that is for sure. But you see Ward Melville on this near sideline rocking those new black jerseys. And the Lions, that is their traditional look.
White with the gold, I guess called like gold pants, right? With the green. Pretty cool look.
Yeah, and they've got You know, that whole saying as well, right? And it's been part of the Longwood program forever, that pride, spirit, heart. It's on the back of the jerseys, but also a new change this year, Mike. It's on the decals on the helmet. And the seniors this year got to choose which of those they wanted on their helmet, but also they had to get up in front of the team and explain why.
I love that kind of stuff. When I heard that the coach did that, Coach Cooper did that, I thought that was really cool. Kind of like giving the seniors some ownership, empowering them, having them talk about their own program, talk about buy-in, right? And getting guys to work and be part of something that they know could be life-changing experience for them, and be part of it. I thought that was really, really excellent and great job. That's one you might want to steal one day, some other people listen to the broadcast.
What you love as well is that both head coaches are alums of their program. Kluber, a 2006 graduate of Longwood, was the starting center on that 2004 Long Island championship. Fumble off the opening kickoff, and there's Hauser. Or Rettig, excuse me there. Great pursuit to the football. Let's take a look at who's going to be leading the way for Longwood quarterback-wise, and it's Caleb Corbett. See his stats there, 5'11", 179 junior, week one. Again, only had to throw 6 times. He's the guy. He'll also run the football, but look, that's kind of what a Longwood quarterback looks like, right? An athlete who's primarily being asked to just run the offense and also physically run the football as well.
Sure, manage the offense, make smart decisions, get the ball distributed to your playmakers.
So 1st and 10 for Longwood from their own 6-yard line. Got a man in motion in Najee Henderson. Inside handoff. Nice run up the middle. That's by Terrence Robinson. Let's take a look at the starting lineup for Longwood offensively. We mentioned Corbett before as the starting QB. Robinson, you see him there, number 3, as the senior running back. You've also got Miles Flagg at fullback. Louis Caleb and Najee Henderson at your receivers. Mason Hauser at tight end. And an offensive line of Heydrich, Wilson, Chai, Chester, Jackson, and Hamill. It's going to be old school, Mike, throughout this game. Gain of 5 on that one. 2nd and 5. Another inside handoff. Big run there on 2nd down. It's going to be a 1st down run. And once again, it is Terrence Robinson. First and up the middle.
I'm sorry, Dylan. The challenge will be there, defensively for what Melville is, they're playing with a tight end all the time. Hauser at that tight end spot, extra gap to have to defend. Whenever you have that Y-on player, you have to defend the extra gap. So it'll be interesting to see how Ward Melville approaches it in the game. A lot of teams aren't really playing with a Y-on tight end all the time. Usually a Y off in the spread or a sniffer back kind of a thing. So interesting to see how they approach it. And that right side of the line is big, strong, and athletic for Longwood.
You can see the big decals there. 1st down, and good job by Longwood to kind of get out of trouble there. And another run up the middle, out to about the 35-yard line. Let's take a look at the starting defense now for Ward Melville. The Patriots bring Dylan Moore, Devin Larson, Max Bihar, and Will Marino. You've got Ricciardi, Rettig, Cosentino as your linebackers. Your corners are Velez and Folkman, and Kramer and Gaffney are your starting safeties. Another gain of 5 on that 1st down. 2nd and 5 as the Lions work their way out towards midfield. Inside handoff and another short gain. That time it was Miles Flagg, the senior. Well built, Mike Hungerford, 5'10", 207 as a fullback. And Kluber calls him one of the best kids that he's ever coached, one of the more consistent blocking fullbacks he's had in a long time. They had a thing called the Victory Games out in Hempstead for the intellectually disabled. So here comes Flagg, this big, burly fullback who's holding guys' hands and trying to help some of these kids blow their nose. It's great to hear that from a guy who obviously is looking to line up and punch people in the mouth on the football field.
Sure, well-rounded people do all kinds of things in their life besides play football, and you can't run this kind of an offense without a fullback that can block.
3rd and 2. The push to the outside. Corbett takes it himself, and it looks like he got that extra little push that he needed to move those chains.
It was some good first contact there. I think that might have been Gaffney in there early, and he kind of moved his feet and kept himself churning a little bit and was able to get the first down with the quarterback keeper there. That was a good play considering they've had a lot of inside runs, fullback, tailback inside, kind of come to the edge with the quarterback there, kind of keep the defense honest.
Wanted to give some credit where it's due on that opening kickoff. 44 for Ward Melville is Dan Constantino. He's the one who made that really nice play, which resulted in the Lions starting from their own 6, and now here you see out at the 41-yard line. A new fresh set of downs as well for Longwood. There's the toss right. Cut inside. Henderson keeps going, gets out to midfield, and gets inside the Patriots' territory.
That time they tossed the ball short side into the boundary. And, a lot of times people will say you'll toss to the wide side of the field and try to use your speed, but keeping the defense honest, coming back to the boundary with the toss. And, right now Ward Melville playing with 2 safeties, and you'll see that those guys are probably going to have to creep a little bit closer to the line of scrimmage as it goes along. They have to be pretty big in run support. You saw Gaffney come downhill and try to turn that play back inside to some help.
Robinson was a guy that Kluber challenged. He said, are you going to be a good Longwood running back or an elite running back? And that was a big challenge for him. There you see it again, getting out to the 45-yard line. Robinson, another carry. But again, he was a guy who was in that limbo. The challenge was there, and he knew, Kluber said, I knew that Robinson had that type of electric energy where maybe you make a mistake on the line and he's got that ability to break a tackle, but he's really answered the call. He's a captain as a senior, also one of the strongest kids on this Longwood team.
He's pretty thickly built. You can see him, for his body type. And, that's the key of a great high school tailback or great tailback at any level is sometimes in the hole there's going to be an unblocked man all the time, right? And can you make that guy miss? Can you miss contact? And making the first man miss is a pretty big trait.
2nd and 7. Toss now goes towards the backfield, and Robinson's got to fall, and that ball is still loose. And it looked like the Patriots had gotten it. At least they were the first to get to it. A lot of wrestling obviously happens after the fact. Let's see who emerges, and Longwood does. So a break there for the Lions. Let's look at it again, Mike, and a botched handoff to the left.
And it kind of came out of the option look. And they pitched it out, and pitch was a little bit far. The quarterback pitched it pretty early. I think the pitch relationship was a little bit off, and he couldn't handle it. But they were able to get it back. And we talked about, winning on certain downs, right? Well, right now, for the Ward Melville defense, you have Longwood in 3rd and probably about 15, right? And this is, one of those downs you kind of have to win and maybe get off the field and get the offense on if you're Ward Melville.
Yeah, officially 3rd and 18. There's the toss again, cut inside. And you get out to just about the original line of scrimmage as it was Robinson again to run the football.
You can see Robinson there, he has the freedom to take that toss and take it to the edge, cut it up, and everything's toss is a real wide edge play out to where the receivers are sometimes. But if you have vision, man, you're going to take that thing north-south and square your pads and get some yardage.
Gaffney, the long man for the Patriots. See the punt by Danny Blank. He's back deep to punt for Longwood. Blank gets one, end over end, and it'll be chased down by Longwood, who will down the football. So it's going to be tough field position for Ward Melville as they come out, and as they do, you see number 7 there, a new quarterback. If you are a lacrosse fan, you know the name Andrew Belli, that is for sure. But replacing Chris Prusen from a year ago, Belli, some good numbers in week 1, 8 of 13, 170 yards. He threw for a touchdown, ran the ball 4 times, a pair of scores as well. He will be leading this Ward Melville offense this season.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to see what the Ward Melville guys bring here tonight. Usually in the spread and try to have some balance here and a little run pass and some RPO mixed in maybe.
He's got Gaffney to his right hip. Throws on first down, a lob towards midfield. It is incomplete. The intended target was number 3, Lorenzo Velez. Let's take a look at the starters on offense for Ward Melville, joining Andrew Belli and Nick Gaffney, who we mentioned before. You got the wide receivers, Velez, Murray, Weber, and Morgan. The big boys up front, Rettig, Larson, Thayer, Bihar, and Brennan Kurtz. Interesting there, too, up front, and we'll talk about it more as this game goes on, but you've got young guys who've got a lot of ability on that line, mixing in with some veterans as well. A short gain there, and this gives us an opportunity to take a look at the Longwood Lions defensive front. A lot of guys going both ways here. You got Hamill, Nieves, Flagg, and Jackson up front. Your backers are Henderson, Hauser, Ordonez, and Charles. Corners are Corbett and Robinson, and Louis Caleb at safety. 3rd and 9 for Ward Melville. Their first offensive possession. Velez is in motion. They go to the sideline. That is complete to Weber, and he gets a first down. Big 3rd down conversion there, Mike, for Ward Melville.
I think what you see right away from Belli is some arm strength, right? He's throwing the ball from the right hash, just on the right hash, inside the right hash, and he runs a pretty good out cut. That's a ball in the air a long time, and that's a pretty good throw. I mean, from that spot for a high school player, that's a good ball.
Jackson Weber, 5'8", 140, had a reception a week ago, but that was for 52 yards. So he's got the speed, a good route runner, and obviously, as we see there, good hands as well. Fresh set of downs for Ward Melville. And there's the handoff to Gaffney. Runs it towards the Longwood sideline, cuts it up, and a big first down run for Nick Gaffney.
Got the edge there, Dylan.
We saw a year ago with Gaffney, as you look at the replay off the handoff. Look at him follow his blocks right there on the edge. Big number 66, Max Bihar at right guard, leading that charge, allowing Gaffney to get that first down run.
Couple good plays in a row now for Ward Melville, getting a little momentum, maybe kind of go a little quick here, a little tempo.
So Rettig, Thayer, and Bihar are your seniors on that offensive line. But you've got Larson at left guard. He's a sophomore, and Kurtz at right tackle. He's a sophomore as well. Toss to the left, and Gaffney gets out to about the 40.
Little quick speed option right there. Out to Gaffney, and you can see Gaffney's got those loose hips, right? Makes the first man miss, and the pursuit comes and gets him, but he's got that ability to make a defender miss in the open field, makes him special. And he can catch the ball pretty well out of the backfield, too. He's got multi-dimensional type player.
And if we know anything about him defensively, we saw it last year out at Stony Brook. You know, he can get that INT and return it as he did to the house in that playoff win over Sachem North. 2-yard gain. It's 2nd and 8 from the 39-yard line. Short pass to Gaffney. Pumps the brakes, gets just past the 40 for a short gain.
Threw it to him right there. A little flare, a little dump out flare to Gaffney, a little RPO look there. Looked like there. Look one way, see what's open there, see which way the linebacker goes. Throw it to Gaffney, gets a few more yards. You know, Longwood's got that 4-4 type base on their defense, so they have to make some adjustments for the spread of Ward Melville a little bit. And that 2 receiver on each side, that quad look, the 2x2 look.
3rd and 6. Velez was in motion. Deep ball. It's dropped in and out of the hands of Trevor Murray, number 5. And the Patriots went from the possibility of a long gain to the likelihood here of having to punt the football away.
That was a great ball by Bell. I put it right in there. Sometimes when that ball's in the air and you look at it for too long, and all of a sudden it becomes harder to catch. You know, when it gets on you quick, reactions take over, right? The more you think about it, sometimes the harder it gets.
So Ethan Biscaglia, the golden toe, they call him out here at Ward Melville, number 55, back to punt. Pressure came there from Longwood. Got a good one. It's fielded at about the 25-yard line, run down the far sideline. A flag is late, as you saw there. Number 2, Najee Henderson on the return.
Yeah, you're going to have an illegal block on Longwood. It's one of those rules that's come across the block in the back. One of those rules have come back in the last few years also about, like, defenseless players running and crackback blocks. The officials are taking a much harder look at that than they used to.
So this will back the Lions to inside their own 30.
Nice punt, but a golden toe right there.
Yes.
He got that ball to turn over. That's a nice punt.
Yeah, we saw him last year. There was a question like who was going to punt the football, and here comes big number 55 to do the honors. 2:22 left first quarter. Another pitch right, another good cut inside. Oh, look at that physicality right at the point. Looked to be, we'll see it on the replay, but I think it was Dylan Moore, 53, who came in. You see Ricciardi there, number 1 as well.
Number 1, Ricciardi's a safety coming in and filling in there. That's a run support, that downhill play. The safety's going to have. One thing that happens is going to have to happen against the Longwood guys. If you're Wood Melville's defense, is those safeties are going to have to get involved. And, they're going to have to make the linebackers right. The linebackers are going to jump in gaps, and they're going to have to make them right playing off of them in run support.
Timeout for Ward Melville, as it looked like they didn't have enough personnel on the field. But you mentioned Ricciardi, number 1, and he's got some of the best natural linebacker instincts Boltrek has said he's ever had. There you see the head coach, Chris Boltrek, and again, mentioned before, in his 9th season at the helm here for the Patriots. 2003 graduate of Ward Melville, a guy who's been tasked with changing the culture here at Ward Melville, and you can see part of it here. You've got a big student section all lined up along the fence. The band is here as well. You want to make Friday night an occasion out here in the Three Village area of Suffolk County, and Boltrek certainly has done that here. And look, you got to win football games to do that, and he's done just that. The number 2 seed this year in Suffolk Division I behind mighty William Floyd.
He's done a great job. And I think what happened there was a player came out, and if he wasn't replaced, I think they're making him stay out for a play because there was a timeout. And now they had 10 on, so Wood Melville used their first timeout. Certainly don't want to play with 10.
He's allowed back in after timeout.
So you can see the conversation with Boltrek with the officials, and judging by the facial expression, I don't think Boltrek won that argument.
No, I don't think he did. I think there was some understanding of, when you use that timeout, can you go back in the game without right away? He's got to sit out for a play.
I guess you got to run a play. And that will be this one here. 2nd and 6 from the 33-yard line. Robinson again gets into the secondary. Robinson with only Gaffney to beat. Robinson gets pushed out just shy. No, it is a touchdown. It was right at that front edge of the end zone, and Terrence Robinson goes 57 yards to the house to give Longwood the early lead.
That's an explosive run right there. That was an explosive run, and he tiptoes the sideline there and just gets over the pylon, and they always rule a touchdown. That's what he can do, Robinson, though, right? He can get in the open field, and he can make guys miss left and right.
So a line up for the point after attempt for Longwood. Errant snap, and results in Corbett trying to rush it out to the right side. Good job defensively there, as you saw Griffin Kramer making the tackle. We'll take a quick break here out at Ward Melville, an early 6-0 lead for Longwood. You're watching this Suffolk Division I Showdown presented by Orland & Cohn on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Teed off by shoulder pain? We've got specialists for that. Realizing you've pulled out more than weeds? We've got specialists for that. Doing the twist, making you shout? We've got specialists for that. Orland & Cohen's top orthopedic team has specialized expertise and extensive training from the nation's premier programs in sports medicine, knee, shoulder, hip, spine, hand, foot, and ankle. So you can feel better, faster.
Welcome back toward Melville. The Lions of Longwood with an early 6-0 lead, or I should say, well, I guess it's still early. It's late in the first quarter. But wanted to let everybody know about Varsity Media Pass. And really, look, this is where you've got to be throughout the entire week. You've got top 10 plays, highlights, podcasts, interviews, and just so much more available on iOS and Android as well. Varsity Media Pass. Still in Butler, Mike Hungerford here from Ward Melville. And I've said it before, Mike, Varsity Media Pass is great for me because the way I liken it is it's everything you want for high school football that doesn't involve game day, right? Like you get your 2-3 hours on a game day right here on our YouTube channel, and then everything else, all the analysis, all the highlights, and everything else that comes with high school football, you get it right there on Varsity Media Pass.
It's the red zone.
There is a flag, so this one will likely be coming back, and it's going to be coming way back. A nice run, but unfortunately for Ward Melville, it appears that this could be another one of those block in the backs. Let's see it again here, Mike. See if we could spot the infraction.
Looks like there was a player on the ground. I'm not really sure how he got there. That may be where the infraction is. Well, flag is put down the 34-yard line. So from the spot of foul, negating a great return by the Patriots.
Yeah, we go all the way back, as you mentioned, right? As the officials still yet to spot the football. Look at that. Inside the 25, back to the 23-yard line.
And not great starting field position, but still not. Previous drive, they started on the 12-yard line.
Yeah.
So they've doubled that.
Yeah.
You kind of have to get it going
like
they
it.
did last time. And
Glass half full by Mike Hungerford.
trying to be. Yeah, I think one thing for the Melville guys, they have to maybe try to get the running game going a little bit in this series. They had the passing game. They had completed a couple good balls and had a couple close incompletions.
Belli puts it up in the air, jump ball, and it is incomplete. The intended target looked like it was Murray again, and it was Louis Caleb, the Albany baseball commit, out at safety, breaking the play up. Caleb wanting a flag there for offensive pass interference. Thought he had the clear route to the football.
I think when you're a baseball guy, you think you can catch everything, right? I'll come down with that, and maybe a good play by Murray there trying to break it up and keep that from becoming an interception.
1:13 left here, first quarter. The visiting Lions of Longwood, a early lead, courtesy of that 57-yard touchdown run by Terrence Robinson. Belli calls his own number and gets a short run. Belli, as we spoke with Boltrek, said, look, he's completely different from Prusen, who is kind of like that fullback throwing in a spread offense. Belli is super smart, super shifty, throws a good ball. We've seen that, and probably has the best command of the concepts. And it's not an easy offense to understand of anyone that he said he's ever coached. 3rd and 6 inside the final minute here of the first quarter. Belli rolls out, completion just shy of the 40-yard line. It's Jackson Weber, the junior, who will move the chains.
I like that play call right there, and I like moving the pocket a little bit because, there's a bit of a size differential up front favoring the Longwood guys, so you kind of roll the pocket a little bit, and you got a bit of a three-level flood going there. You got the shallow, the deeper out, and then the deep flag. And he takes the medium route there for the first down. That's a really nice play. And I do like rolling the pocket, not trying to go toe-to-toe with the Longwood guys on every play.
Another big catch there by Weber.
They've converted a couple third downs now.
Yeah.
They're 2 for 3 on third downs, I believe. Personal stats on the side, but Dylan. But that's a big part of the game is staying on the field. You're going to have those downs.
Here's Belli, and he gets eaten up there at about the 40. And you see Hauser, 44 there, making the tackle.
I think Hauser, he's got the ability to play the run and the pass and get into coverage and rush the passer and do everything you want a linebacker to do. And, I probably like practice where it's a lot of mashing it up and everything. And again, the spread, you're going to have to do a lot of different things. And he has that versatility clearly to do those things.
That's one quarter in the books out here at Ward Melville. And it's Longwood with a 6-0 lead. You're watching this Suffolk Division I Showdown presented by Orland and Cone on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports. High school football fans, for exclusive content of the 2022 season, head to the Varsity Media Pass app. Weekly podcast, top 10 plays of the week, game highlights, and player interviews. All the content you need is right here on the Varsity Media Pass app. Available on iOS and Android. To order, visit varsitymediapass.com. Varsity Media covers every sport at every level from every angle. Game film, recruiting videos, highlight videos, sportscasts.
That's complete. First down and more. Touchdown, Oceanside.
Photography, live streaming. You name it, we offer it. Don't leave your video needs to amateurs.
Welcome back to Ward Melville. Gaffney, first play of the second quarter. Cuts inside and a great pursuit to the football there. You see number 5 jumping in. That's your quarterback, by the way, Caleb Corbett, making a big tackle.
Great job. You run a little outside zone type stretch play there, and Corbett gets off the stalk and comes up and makes that play. That's a great job by the corner right there.
Another look there at Mason Hauser. He's got a Southern Connecticut State out of D2 and an LIU offer as well for football. 6'2", 221, two-time captain. His dad, Rick, a starting tackle on that 1993 Rutgers Cup team for Longwood. 3rd and 7 again. Get Belli out rolling. The completion to Murray, who got knocked hard out of bounds, and it will be
I think they're ruling that
incomplete pass, yeah. So that'll result in a 4th down for Ward Melville and another punt here.
They kind of rolled that there into the short side of the field, there into the boundary, and it was kind of a tight window. They just couldn't hook it up.
Deep for Longwood, you got Louis Caleb, number 7, as well as Najee Henderson.
2 good returners back there. Hold your breath when you kick into those guys.
Oh, it's the golden toe to do so. Biscaglia, 5'10", 220. Gets it up. Oh, look out. And it takes a nice Ward Melville bounce.
2 good punts for the golden toe.
Take a look at the schedule here for Longwood. Again, we mentioned the visitors 1-0 on the season. Talk about the return of the ground and pound, right? They went over 300. I love, look at this graphic, huh? How sick is this? Walt Whitman, big matchup. That's the Parkway Bowl against William Floyd. That's on October 1st. CI, Comax, HM North, and Brentwood to close out the regular season for Longwood.
That's a great game with Floyd.
Every year it is, man. It is the Battle of the Parkway Bowl out William Floyd. Pitch right. Look at this. The throw this time. Caleb goes deep. his intended target was Najee Henderson. You liked a little bit of trickery there by Kluber, taking one out of that book of his. And take a look again.
Well, you're running toss here. A little toss pass. You know, and you have your Caleb throwing the ball, the baseball guy throwing the ball deep, so he's got a good arm.
Well, here's the thing. It's not only that he's a baseball guy. Caleb moved from quarterback to receiver, so you've got to recognize 7 out there as a possible guy to throw the football. Like that on first down as well. 2nd and 10 now for Longwood. Under center is Corbett. Pitch goes to the right. There is Caleb, and a really good gain on first down. That's the other reason why you don't mind that play on first down, right? Because you get the move the chains anyway.
Well, you want to try to keep those safeties honest from creeping up and getting an extra hat in the box early. So you run plays like that. That little play right there will keep the safeties, 3 steps back, pedal first, take your read steps, maybe a dead foot read, but definitely not coming downhill right away. Keeps them honest, and what a luxury to have another guy to go back there to handle the ball, right? Like Caleb, he's the tailback now. Really good athlete.
And that's the other thing that Kluber said, is there's the handoff on first down. It's Caleb again. Kind of rolls over a guy as well, right? Gets out towards near the 40. But Kluber said, look, we've got the luxury of something that we don't normally have. We've got 2 good quarterbacks between Corbett and Caleb. So, it's not just the old case of, you've got a bruising running back as your QB. They've got 2 guys there between the Corbett and Caleb who, if needed, will put the ball in the air.
Absolutely. And the only time they've needed it so far is with the toss pass, right? A little trickeration, as you call it.
2nd and 5. Another handoff. It's Caleb again working his way out. It looked like it was Gaffney who pushed him out of bounds, and they'll keep the clock running. Another good run there by Louis Caleb, an all-division player a year ago. Playing that X tailback. He's a chess piece, Kluber likes to call him. You can kind of put him anywhere you want to kind of work, or whatever's working well for you. You can put him in that spot, and he'll perform for you.
Sure, a multifaceted athlete, understands the game really well and kind of fills himself in. 3rd and short here.
Yeah, 3rd and 1
Fullback
for
time.
the Lions. Another pitch right. Another first down run for Longwood.
Toss that into the boundary again. You can see how he started heading wide, put his foot in the ground, and got north-south quick, right?
Let's watch some of the blocking here at the top of your screen as the toss went to Caleb. See 8 Ordonez leading the way as well.
Pulling that tackle.
Yep.
Little X action there, with pulling him around there a little bit over the tight end. See the athleticism of the right tight end there, the right tackle. Hamill.
Yeah, we'll talk more about him in a moment, Tyler Hamill. There is a short gain up the middle, but number 56 here for Longwood, you'll see him in that mix as well. Kluber calls him the best kept secret on Long Island. If people aren't recruiting him, they should be. Good size, 6'3", 228. He runs like a running back, and he's playing right tackle D end, and he just looks like an athlete, right? You could tell from that play that he made there. And Pat Med, that opening win in week 1, they really struggled against Hamill because he's got that rare combination of size and speed. They pulled him, they ran the boundary toss his way, and they just could not adjust. Pat Med did. Another run, this time a shorter gain, as you see 54 in there on the tackle for Ward Melville.
They have the right side of the line there, Longwood, with Jackson and Hamill, and they put Hauser at tight end, and that's a pretty powerful side of the line for Longwood running the ball right-handed, Very, very impressive.
54, Norman Bergmashi, the junior defensive tackle, 6'1", 220.
So I think if you won Melville, you may have to sub some players through, right, and get to play some depth on the defensive line, because you're going to get the same action from the offensive line you're playing against over and over again. So need some fresh bodies if you're a little undersized.
3rd and 7. There's the toss again, right. This time it's Robinson. And a better job of pursuit to the football there by a gang of Patriots. And it results in an interesting situation here for Longwood. You've got the ball out in the midfield. It's at the Ward Melville 45. Do you punt it away? And it looks like that's what they're going to probably do here with Blank coming back out. Or, again, you could potentially go for it and you just turn the ball over at midfield.
Well, Dylan, I like this decision because, if you're the Longwood coaching staff, Ward Melville's moved it a little bit, but not a lot. And they haven't demonstrated the ability to really get a drive going. So pin them deep and see if they can get a drive going right now, and maybe you'll end up with the ball in better field position 3 plays from now, 4 plays from now. So I like that decision by Longwood, but I also like the fact that Ward Melville got off the field. So they've really given up one big play, and that's been the difference right now.
Let's take a look at that Ward Melville schedule. We showed you Longwoods a moment ago, and Patriots, the number 2 seed here this year, out in Suffolk Big Boy Division I. Comac, Sachem North, there's that rematch of last year's quarterfinal win. Riverhead, there's that battle with William Floyd. They've been that team that's been really a thorn in Ward Melville's side, Walt Whitman and Pat Med, to end the regular season. 1st and 10 for Ward Melville. Handoff inside Gaffney. You see 44 Hauser in there. 56 was the first defender in. That was Tyler Hamill again. So check this out. A week ago, Mike, on the offensive side of things, Hamill, 56, had 6 pancakes, right, as that offensive lineman, as that guy they pull behind. And defensively, 6 tackles for Hamill, 3 sacks, 3 tackles for losses against Pat Med.
3 sacks in a high school football game is any football game is some work.
2nd and 10, and that's an incomplete pass.
And a little RPO action off the fly sweep there, right? They run that fly sweep action, the jet action. Try to throw the slant off of it, the deep slant off of it. Incomplete. It's tough if you're Ward Melville right now. You haven't shown the ability to really get yardage on the ground, and they have to try to run the football to keep the defense honest sometimes. A lot of people in the crowd are like, oh, there's too many men in the box. But somewhere along the way, you have to be able to try to keep some honesty there with the defense.
3rd and 10 for Ward Melville from their own 19-yard line. Big 3rd down play here. Bella gets it up over the middle. He had a man in Weber, but it was an incomplete pass. And now that decision to punt the ball looks really good, too, for Longwood, right? Because you should, in theory, get some pretty good field position off of that 3 and out.
I guarantee you, Dylan, the Patriots come back to that formation, that play. They had a bunch here to the sideline, to their own sideline, and they had the one receiver coming across the middle. Hamill, I believe it was, right, number 9.
Weber,
Weber, I'm sorry, I apologize. And he was open. I think that formation had the Longwood guys a little confused how they were defending it.
The Golden Toe gets another good one right out towards midfield, but attacking the football there. Looked like it was Caleb. And good job special teams-wise by Ward Melville.
3 for 3 with the punts.
He's been
Great
good.
job, right? It's been good right there. Didn't flip the field completely, but, gave him some yards to play with defensively. And if you're Longwood, you probably punted the ball about 6 yards or 7 yards from where you got it now, right? In the end of the day. So that worked out good for their coaching staff right now.
We mentioned before about the history of Longwood football, and it's been a rich one. Obviously, it hurts them. I think they don't want to hear me say this. I'm sure they hear it enough, but it's not quite the William Floyd history, right? Which is nearly unprecedented. And we'll get to this after this play. 1st and 10. Another handoff up the middle. Another nice gain. Looked to be Robinson again, number 3. But obviously William Floyd, right, and the job that Paul Longo has done with the Colonials is remarkable. But Longwood, listen, they've got 4 Suffolk Division I championships since 1993. They beat Lindy in 93, 21-2. They beat Floyd in 98 and again in 2004. And they beat Lindy in 2015, 44-14. With those 4 county championships, 3 Long Island championships as well, 1998, 2004, and 2015. There goes Corbett. He could scoot, can he? Gets to the outside, cuts it back inside, broke a few tackles, and he gets inside the Ward Melville 20.
That's a nice play call. That's a little naked boot off the toss, right? Coming to the quarterback, going the other way. And he just gets the corner. That's something that they've seen up top probably. They're looking at the Ward Melville defense and they're like, you know what? We'll keep some balance there and keep the ball in the quarterback's hands, and he does the rest and makes some guys miss. Big play.
25-yard gain gets the Lions to the 17-yard line as we approach the final 4 minutes, or we are under 4 minutes here in this second quarter. Could be a big possession here, right, for Longwood inside the red zone. Carry inside for Robinson.
The downhill running game is pretty relentless for the Longwood Lions. They just keep coming at you.
And this is what their head coach, Sean Kluber, said. You know, it's about dominating the clock and the time of possession, and you do that by running the football, by moving the chains, and they have certainly won that war in this first half.
I think right now it's second down, and I'm going to say it's a pretty big play for the Ward Melville defense right there. If they can get a stop and keep it in 6 yards or more right now for third down, they have a shot.
2nd and 6. Ooh, a botch off the handoff. There's Corbett, and he recovers, but it's going to be a loss for Longwood. Of course, it could have been a lot worse for the Lions.
I'm not sure if that was going to be an option action there, but the ball was kind of out and got knocked out of his hand, it looked like a little bit. And there's that play for Ward Melville, right? But needed that second down play, and now they're in 3rd and 10. You know, probably if you're Longwood, you're looking at 2 downs, right? 2 downs to get 10 yards right now. See the helmets. I love it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You see the heart, the spirit, kind of that old school New York Giants. Kluber referred to it the way the design is, right? I know Ben Turchin loves any reference of the New York Football Giants.
We're back.
Yes, sir. 1-0. I love the play call at the end, but that's for another day. Corbett, look at this play. Gets a man in motion. There is Hauser. Breaks a tackle. Hauser dives towards the end zone and scores.
Tight end throwback screen. There you go. Great play call. Great execution. Not bad putting the ball in that guy's hands.
Watch it again. You see the jump, and there's Hauser at the 20. Once he breaks that first tackle, and that's what we didn't see from Hauser in week 1. Not that he didn't have it in his arsenal, but he wasn't forced to. And you see the reaction there in the sideline, knowing how well that worked. But listen, man, Mason Hauser can catch and run. Don't think he's just your blocking tight end. The PAT is up, and it is good. 2 minutes left here, and it's the Lions of Longwood who have a 13-0 lead. You're watching this Suffolk One Showdown presented by Orland & Cohn on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports. High school football fans, for exclusive content of the 2022 season, head to the Varsity Media Pass app. Weekly podcasts, top 10 plays of the week, game highlights, and player interviews. All the content you need is right here on the Varsity Media Pass app. Available on iOS and Android. To order, visit varsitymediapass.com. Varsity Media covers every sport at every level from every angle. Game film, recruiting videos, highlight videos, sportscasts.
That's complete. First down and more. Touchdown, Oceanside.
Photography, live streaming. You name it, we offer it. Don't leave your video needs to amateurs. Trust the pros.
Welcome back to Ward Melville, the Lions of Longwood. A 13-0 13-0 lead here late in the first quarter. This game 1 of 3 on the weekend for us here on the Varsity Media Sports Network. A little bit of a doubleheader here. Tomorrow we've got a Suffolk 2 battle between Hills East and Northport. Myself and Mike Hungerford on the call for that. And a really intriguing one out there in North Massapequa with Plain Edge and Cary as well. It's actually going to be at Cary, but that's an interesting one as well. Cary making the move from Nassau 3 to 2. And they take on, of course, a team from 2 to 3, I should say, and they take on Plain Edge. Velez diving out to make the catch. That's incomplete, but of course Plain Edge is the team to beat in 3. So Mike Stanley, he's in the war room right now, trying to figure out, getting into the laboratory, trying to figure things out, trying to stop that Red Devils team.
When Melville came out, second quarter, minute 45, took a deep shot there. Just a little bit off from hooking up a bunch of those balls, Dylan, right? Just like a little bit, missing a little bit, Good job by Belly right there, stepping up in the pocket, avoiding the pressure. Just couldn't play catch.
2nd and 10 from the 31-yard line. Belli goes to the far sideline, and that ball is complete. He finds, again, Weber, who's had the hot hand in this first half. He was short of the first down marker, which meant that the clock could not stop. You see the catch again there by Weber.
I like that play design right there. He had the short motion coming back into the formation and running an over-under route. And you had the receiver who stayed on the island now running an out pattern and basically getting man coverage. And that was a nice ball, good design, good play. If we're measuring right now, if we go back to that throwback screen, Dylan, that Longwood scored on, what a play. years ago, Baldwin High School Power I team used to run a great tight end screen. And just so reminiscent. It's just something you have in your playbook to keep the team honest and have balance. I thought that was great stuff by the Longwood staff right there.
So you see just shy of that first down marker. So it'll be a 3rd and 1 with a minute 31 left in this first half. Ward Melville trailing 13-0. Belli rolls right. Looks downfield. It's intercepted by Louis Caleb. He cuts it up the field, and he's tackled from behind. But there is Caleb again, impacting the game on both sides of the football.
Rolled the pocket again. Looked like they had that 3-level flood going there again. Great job stepping in front of it. Great instincts.
Well, we saw a few of those plays out of the Longwood playbook, and you saw the flag there as well. And that's why this is coming back. It's actually situated right by the Ward Melville sideline. It came right after the interception, so we're going to march this one back. Which now I wonder if you change things up a little bit. I was going to say maybe this is one of those, another opportunity to take something else out of your bag of tricks if you're Kluber. But now that you're backed up where you are, I think you maybe go more traditional and you run out this clock and you take a 13-0 lead. Or, again, if you could break a big play, you take even more.
Coach Kluber's doing a great job, but I'll pretend I'm out of the bag of tricks. Toss it to the tailback.
There you go.
One move away, maybe you score again. Keep it simple.
1st and 10 from the 38-yard line. And there is that toss to the tailback that you requested. It was Terrence Robinson on the run.
Good job defensively, doing more. Looks like making that play, number 53, right?
Yeah, Moore, 53, 6'6", 225. A 2-year starter. He has that quick twitch, that fast, long, rangy. Really good senior there at the end position, which, listen, again, you think back to last year, you had Kevin Dolan on the edge, and he was as good as they come on Long Island.
Very good high school football player.
Inside the final minute. Another run. And maybe a little more here. Robinson gets into the secondary. And That's like a game-saving or a touchdown-saving tackle, at least by Griffin Kramer, number 33.
Sure, right there. Just great blocking at the point of attack on the offensive line. Center right there doing a nice job.
Kramer there, too, showing his speed, right? Catching him from behind.
Hustle. Doesn't want to give that touchdown up, right?
And he's the guy, too, who will give Gaffney that spell from time to time as tailback. So they'll move the chains. There's a timeout here with 27.5 seconds left, and you got a 1st and 10 at the 30-yard line for Longwood.
Very impressed so far by the Longwood offensive line. You can see them as they come out of the huddle.
Hey, let's shout him out again, right? Of course, you got Hauser, 44. You see him there. You've got left tackle Brian Heydrich, 62. He's coming in at 6'3", 329. Wally Wilson at left guard. He had 6 pancakes in week 1. You got Clint Chichester, 55. 52 is Josh Jackson. And Tyler Hamill's at right tackle. One thing that they all have, except for Chichester, they're all seniors. So they've been through the wars for Longwood. 1st and 10 from the 30-yard line. Another handoff. Good job defensively there by Ward Melville, not giving Robinson much. Reddick in on the tackle for the Patriots.
I like what Longwood's doing here, though. They're still kind of basically running plays out of their base running playbook. And they're, they're up 13-0 going to halftime, right? And, it's one of those things where if you pop it and pop it, you get another touchdown, you're golden, right? You got another score. And if you don't, you're 13-0. It's all good.
So the play there by Reddick, the senior middle linebacker, number 52. He's in on that huddle there. You could see right in the middle there. Reddick, 6 foot 205, 7 tackles, a 2-year starter. Was the backup tailback a year ago. And here's a great story about him. He made the switch in the offseason. Obviously Gaffney's in front of him, right? So you're not going to get a lot of touches on the offense. He asked if he could help out the team a little bit by playing offensive line. And much like Kevin Dolan did a year ago, and Reddick has absolutely done that. A wrestler. He's worked in the weight room in the offseason, and he's become the strongest player in Ward Melville history.
I noticed in the opener they had on the players for the night. They had him wearing number 27, which he wore last year, and now he's wearing a little bit different number, wearing number 52, right? An ineligible lineman number. Right? Great story though, and the program and the team before individuality, and that's the sport of football for you. That's what makes it the best.
And that's how you get better as a program with guys like Reddick and Dolan before him. 2nd and 9 from the 29-yard line. There's a pass to Robinson out into space. And they will continue to run the clock. He didn't get out of bounds, so good job defensively, right, by Ward Melville. And again, it is Griffin Kramer to make the tackle.
The Ward Melville defense had really, really good pursuit. After the play that got them down where they are now, the last few plays they've really stiffened up, and they've really bit down pretty hard on that mouthpiece and got some good pursuit and stiffened, which they really need right now.
Kramer, the junior, starting safety. Might be one of the Boltrek's favorite players in a team. He got pulled up last year as a sophomore midway through the season. Probably the hardest working kid, he said, that the head coach has ever met. Doesn't say anything. He's really polite, but he just works his tail off. And obviously we see him starting on defense, his work that he does on special teams, and he will get those touches behind Gaffney as well.
That's great stuff right there. You're probably going to need 2 plays right here out of the Ward Melville defense, and this is something you can build on at halftime if you, when you get in the locker room and say, listen, we're down 13-0, but we got a great stop before halftime. Get a little energy out of it right here. Longwood's probably got 2 plays here. No timeouts left. They get a first down, clock will stop.
3rd and 9 from the 29-yard line, and first flag that we've seen from the line of scrimmage, right? So we'll have a full start on the offense. So we'll back Longwood up 5 more yards.
All right, a little more help for the Ward Melville defense right there with that miscue by Longwood, and got 2 downs here.
3rd and 14.
I do believe the official clock, Dylan's probably being kept on the field by the officials, right? So, not sure, but probably around that amount of time, around 10 seconds left. Here in the pro left eye formation here.
Corbett, here comes the rush. Chased down by Cosentino, and he throws it away. I don't think there was a receiver anywhere there. Don't see any flags, so perhaps he gets away there, but great pursuit by Dan Cosentino.
Cosentino, great, very good lacrosse player. Great pursuit right there, relentless. And I think the Ward Melville coaches are asking for a flag.
I agree.
Yeah.
There wasn't a receiver anywhere near that.
And the ball didn't cross the line of scrimmage either. Though in high school football, college, and the NFL, the rules do change a little bit as you get from level to level. So what you saw last night, maybe in the Chiefs game, is not what you see here, maybe.
So Cosentino really should have had a second sack of the season, had one in week 1. Was a guy too a year ago, kind of played here and there, right? Didn't get a lot of time out of that linebacker spot. Another one of those really good Division I lacrosse athletes.
Great motor, played really hard all the time.
He will come down and stick you.
One thing about the Ward Melville linebackers between Reddick, Cosentino, and Riccardi, they play fast and furious right there.
They certainly do. So that'll do it for the first half. Bit of a strange way to end it there on that intentional grounding, but Longwood did what they came to do in that first half. Ground and pound, and a couple big plays as well. They lead the Patriots of Ward Melville 13-0. You're watching this Suffolk Division I showdown presented by Orland & Cohen on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Teed off by shoulder pain? We've got specialists for that. Realizing you've pulled out more than weeds? We've got specialists for that. Doing the twist making you shout? We've got specialists for that. Orland & Cohen's top orthopedic team has specialized expertise and extensive training from the nation's premier programs in sports medicine, knee, shoulder, hip, spine, hand, foot, and ankle. So you can feel better, faster.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports. High school football fans, for exclusive content of the 2022 season, head to the Varsity Media Pass app. Weekly podcast, top 10 plays of the week, game highlights, and player interviews. All the content you need is right here on the Varsity Media Pass app, available on iOS and Android. To order, visit varsitymediapass.com. Varsity Media covers every sport at every level from every angle. Game film, recruiting videos, highlight videos, sportscasts.
That's complete. First down and more. Touchdown, Oceanside.
Photography, live streaming. Packages at 516. You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports. High school football fans, for exclusive content of the 2022 season, head to the Varsity Media Pass app. Weekly podcast, top 10 plays of the week, game highlights, and player interviews. All the content you need is right here on the Varsity Media Pass app, available on iOS and Android. To order, visit varsitymediapass.com. Varsity Media covers every sport at every level from every angle. Game film, recruiting videos, highlight videos, sportscasts.
That's complete. First down and more. Touchdown, Oceanside.
Photography, live streaming. You name it, we offer it. Don't leave your video needs to amateurs. Trust the pros. Contact us at 516-403-2050 or visit us online at varsitymedia.net. If you're an event organizer looking for a media company to cover live streaming, action photography, and game video for your event, look no further. Varsity Media travels throughout the Northeast covering weekend tournaments, showcases, and championships. Contact us today to learn about our services and packages at 516-403-2050 or visit us online at varsitymedia.net.
For the best action shots and the best angles, look no further than Varsity Media. Our experienced photographers capture your athletes' best moments right from field level. Plus, we offer great keepsakes like bobbleheads, posters, plaques, and prints. For more information about Varsity Media's photography services, contact us at 516-403-2050 or visit us online at varsitymedia.net.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports. High school football fans, for exclusive content of the 2022 season, head to the Varsity Media Pass app. Weekly podcast, top 10 plays of the week, game highlights, and player interviews. All the content you need is right here on the Varsity Media Pass app, available on iOS and Android. To order, visit varsitymediapass.com. Varsity Media covers every sport at every level from every angle. Game film, recruiting videos, highlight videos, sportscasts.
That's complete. First down and more. Touchdown, Oceanside.
Photography, live streaming. You name it, we offer it. Don't leave your video needs to amateurs. Trust the pros. Contact us at 516-403-2050 or visit us online at varsitymedia.net. If you're an event organizer looking for a media company to cover live streaming, action photography, and game video for your event, look no further. Varsity Media travels throughout the Northeast covering weekend tournaments, showcases, and championships. Contact us today to learn about our services and packages at 516-403-2050 or visit us online at varsitymedia.net.
For the best action shots and the best angles, look no further than Varsity Media. Our experienced photographers capture your athletes' best moments right from field level. Plus, we offer great keepsakes like bobbleheads, posters, plaques, and prints. For more information about Varsity Media's photography services, contact us at 516-403-2050 or visit us online at varsitymedia.net.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports. High school football fans, for exclusive content of the 2022 season, head to the Varsity Media Pass app. Weekly podcast, top 10 plays of the week, game highlights, and player interviews. All the content you need is right here on the Varsity Media Pass app, available on iOS and Android. To order, visit varsitymediapass.com. Varsity Media covers every sport at every level from every angle. Game film, recruiting videos, highlight videos, sportscasts.
That's complete. First down and more. Touchdown, Oceanside.
Photography, live streaming. You name it, we offer it. Don't leave your video needs to amateurs. Trust the pros. Contact us at 516-403-2050 2050, or visit us online at varsitymedia.net. If you're an event organizer looking for a media company to cover live streaming, action photography, and game video for your event, look no further. Varsity Media travels throughout the Northeast covering weekend tournaments, showcases, and championships. Contact us today to learn about our services and packages at 516-403-2050 or visit us online at varsitymedia.net.
For the best action shots and the best angles, look no further than Varsity Media. Our experienced photographers capture your athletes' best moments right from field level. Plus, we offer great keepsakes like bobbleheads, posters, plaques, and prints. For more information about Varsity Media's photography services, contact us at 516-403-2050 or visit us online at varsitymedia.net.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports. High school football fans, for exclusive content of the 2022 season, head to the Varsity Media Pass app. Weekly podcasts, top 10 plays of the week, game highlights, and player interviews. All the content you need is right here on the Varsity Media Pass app, available on iOS and Android. To order, visit varsitymediapass.com. Varsity Media covers every sport at every level from every angle. Game film, recruiting videos, highlight videos, sportscasts.
That's complete. First down and more. Touchdown, Oceanside.
Photography, live streaming. You name it, we offer it. Don't leave your video needs to amateurs. Trust the pros. Contact us at 516-403-2050 or visit us online at varsitymedia.net. If you're an event organizer looking for a media company to cover live streaming, action photography, and game video for your event, look no further. Varsity Media travels throughout the Northeast covering weekend tournaments, showcases, and championships. Contact us today to learn about our services and packages at 516-403-2050 or visit us online at varsitymedia.net.
For the best action shots and the best angles, look no further than Varsity Media. Our experienced photographers capture your athletes' best moments right from field level. Plus, we offer great keepsakes like bobbleheads, posters, plaques, and prints. For more information about Varsity Media's photography services, contact us at 516-403-2050 or visit us online at varsitymedia.net.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports. High school football fans, for exclusive content of the 2022 season, head to the Varsity Media Pass app. Weekly podcasts, top 10 plays of the week, game highlights, and player interviews. All the content you need is right here on the Varsity Media Pass app, available on iOS and Android. To order, visit varsitymediapass.com. Varsity Media covers every sport at every level from every angle. Game film, recruiting videos, highlight videos, sportscasts.
That's complete. First down and more. Touchdown, Oceanside.
Photography, live streaming. You name it, we offer it. Don't leave your video needs to amateurs. Trust the pros. Contact us at 516-403-2050 or visit us online at varsitymedia.net. If you're an event
Welcome back to Ward Melville. Halftime here. 13-0 lead for Longwood over Ward Melville. Dylan Butler here, Mike Hungerford. And the Lions took a 6-0 lead on that 57-yard touchdown run by Terrence Robinson in the first quarter. And that great tight end screen to Mason Hauser for the 17-yard score, which made it 13-0. This is game 1 of 3 this weekend for us on the Varsity Media Sports Network. Tomorrow, you and I will stay on the North Shore. We'll go a little bit west from here to Northport High School, where Hills East and Northport battle in that black and blue Suffolk Division II. Man, there are like 9 teams who you would claim have a legit chance there of winning that championship this year. It's going to be an absolute brawl to get to the championship game. That'll be a 1:30 kick tomorrow afternoon. And then at 2 o'clock, you've got Plain Edge and Cary. That's going to be a fun one in Nassau Conference 3. And then next weekend, I think you're with me, right? Out at Freeport. That's always a fun one. Massapequa going down Sunrise Highway to take on the Red Devils of Freeport. One of those traditional rivalry games on a Friday night. And then we go to Nassau Conference 4. We are all over Long Island. We've got the Catholics. We've got the Publics, and it's North Shore and Seaford in Nassau Conference 4. That'll be a 6 o'clock kick next Friday night.
How awesome was it last year? North Shore comes and become, all of a sudden they're the Long Island champs, right?
Oh, yeah.
They come out of, I wouldn't say out of nowhere, but they've done a great job there, and they, back at it again. They 1-0, won the first game, and, Seaford uncharacteristically lost their first game.
Yeah.
0-1, so very uncharacteristic. I think they'll bounce back. In that Cary, Plain Edge game will be interesting. The Cary kids are usually pretty physical, tough kids from you. Spent a long time in Conference 2.
Yep.
Battling Garden City and MacArthur, and those guys are now in 3. And there's no short of toughness in North Massapequa where Plain Edge is located.
No, sir.
And, very good, very well coached. A lot of great kids in the team. Very big linemen up front.
Vinny Petzel leading the way offensively on the line. And you've also got, on the other side, Will Tolliver, a really good playmaker for Cary. You've got another Metzger at QB, right, for Mike Stanley's Seahawks. That should be a lot of fun. And we mentioned before, you and I on the call, Hills East and Northport. We're doing our prep for that game as well. We did that game, you and I, a year ago out at Hills East.
That was a fun game.
Where Dakeem Griffin ran for like 800 yards, I think, in that game alone. Actually, it was over 300, but he's gone. A new look here for Hills East, and another guy in Alex Marcelin who's trying to build up his program and get him on the same page as guys like Lindy and Northport, those traditional powerhouses, Bellport as well, and Suffolk.
West Islip.
Division II, West Islip, who they lost to in week 1. They're looking to clean things up too. Hills East, a lot of penalties, 17 penalties in week 1 in that loss to West Islip. So we'll see how they bounce back. And Northport, a team, we know their dudes really well, especially Andrew Miller, Owen Johansson, their bull of a quarterback. Timmy Cleary as well. They are going to be very, very good. Those are 2 of the teams. You throw in Lindenhurst. Newfield is very good this year. Bellport. Suffolk, too, is just crazy. It's the SEC of Long Island public school football. So we are starting the second half with Longwood kicking the ball off, and it's Danny Blank to do so. It's fielded at about the 16-yard line. And you go sideline to sideline there. You go a little north-south instead of east-west, so not much of a return as Ward Melville will look to get things going offensively here to start the third quarter.
Yeah, I think he took it to the wide side, kind of ran the width of the field a little bit. And the Longwood guys are fast. They can kind of, they can kind of run them down. Morgan making that decision to go wide there, but the Longwood guys, are very impressed with their team speed and their ability to get to the football.
All right, let's see what Belli has coming up here for the start of the second half. They've got a 1st and 10 from the 25-yard line.
Empty 4-by-1.
Yeah, look at this. Belli right away to Gaffney, looking for those blockers. He gets them, cuts it to the outside, puts the shoulder down, and a really good play call for one and play execution as well as Gaffney moves the chains.
Sure, good job coming out. They had the lineman over the ball. The receivers kind of grouped along the sideline. Block. And of course you have Gaffney, who has that safety coming in, and he makes a miss right there. With a very good player who's making miss, and in number 7, mind blank all of a sudden, Caleb.
Well, Hunter Morgan, number 4, too, with a good block. Another pass, another completion. And this time Gaffney is in all kinds of trouble. Swarming to the football are a host of Lions, and you see 44 there, Hauser. Again, right in the middle of it.
Love it. Get to the football, right? Just a whole bunch of guys run to the football there, and I think, they went one way in the first play, hit it back, looked like maybe going to quad again.
So you have that big gain, move the chains on first down, and now you lose for 2nd and 14 from your own 39. Looks like the same set as we saw a moment ago as well. This time Belli goes over the middle. He's got a receiver, and it's Morgan. Over the middle, Brody Morgan.
Tackle at the 1. See right there, they came out in that quad look again. That 4x1 look empty. And what do you have off of it, right? Maybe you have pump to Gaffney and throw something deep on that side. They go to the single on the other side, which is going to have man coverage. So he runs a post. If there's no safety help, the safety sucked over to the 4-man side. Good play design right there.
I'll say, when Belli has gone long, he's had his receivers. Maybe that's something, too, that Ward Melville is going to try to exploit, as it's a 1st and goal from the Lions' 3-yard line. Pushing forward, diving, and in to the end zone. Touchdown for Ward Melville. It's Nick Gaffney with the 3-yard touchdown run.
Great job by Gaffney, smelling the end zone right there. Putting your pads down, getting north-south. Big collision right here. I think it's him and Hauser, but a pretty big collision.
That's a car crash right there. You get 23 and 44. Watch it again. Boom.
Yep, Mason House doesn't lose those collisions too often, but Gaffney coming downhill, great job. Very Saquon Barkley-like. Getting downhill and smelling that end zone and getting your pads down and finishing that run. That's why he's a great player, Gaffney.
So Morgan, who had the big reception a moment ago, as it's low, they're going to have to run it to the far side. Flags on the play. The big fella gets in the end zone. And then additional flags as well, as that play got botched.
He can't touch that ball right there. Nope, that's illegal touching. It'll be declined. And not a great snap right there. These are the nights of the year, Dylan, just to kind of throw it in there, where it gets a little damp at night and the ground gets a little wet. And the temperature changes a little bit. Ball might get a little slick.
So Gaffney gets the Patriots back within a score. It's 13-6. Longwood with the lead. You're watching the Suffolk Division I Showdown presented by Orland & Cohn on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Teed off by shoulder pain? We've got specialists for that. Realizing you've pulled out more than weeds? We've got specialists for that. Doing the twist making you shout? We've got specialists for that. Orland & Cohen's top orthopedic team has specialized expertise and extensive training from the nation's premier programs in sports medicine, knee, shoulder, hip, spine, hand, foot, and ankle. So you can feel better, faster. Teed off by shoulder pain? We've got specialists for that. Realizing you've pulled out more than weeds? We've got specialists for that. Doing the twist making you shout? We've got specialists for that. Orland & Cohen's top orthopedic team has specialized expertise and extensive training from the nation's premier programs in sports medicine, knee, shoulder, hip, spine, hand, foot, and ankle. So you can feel better, faster.
Welcome back to Ward Melville, and you see Morgan's kickoff a little further out than we are used to seeing. That's because during the break there was a flag thrown against the Longwood sideline. So an opportunity here from the 45-yard line for Morgan to kick it deep. Line drive, end over end, and that will go through the back of the end zone for a touchback. I want to remind everybody, you've got to check out, if you haven't already, Varsity Media Pass. You see the website there, varsitymediapass.com. You can also get the app on iOS or Android. You've got our top 10 plays, highlights, podcasts, interviews, and more. And maybe a little bit of that number 7 of Holy Trinity, Josiah Brown, as well. All of that on Varsity Media Pass.
Varsity Media Pass is the red zone of Long Island High School football. I've determined that. Yes, that's taking credit for that one.
That could be the next phase of Varsity Media, right? Get a red zone channel. Get maybe Jared Veluzzi there making all those calls as we go from site to site. And not much going there for Terrence Robinson.
You know what's great, Dylan, is that, every time we come and do a broadcast, you want to see a great high school football game. It's 13-0 at halftime. The Wood Melville guys get a stop before halftime. They come out and get the ball, and you got to answer the bell. And they did. They drove down and scored. Now we got a game.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden now it's football in high school, such a game of momentum. Kids playing both ways, right? In the NFL, not so much momentum. Guys are all individualized, offense, defense. Though it does still play a part. But here you can see the momentum. Melville seems like they're just a little more energized right now.
For sure. That was only a gain of 2 for Robinson. There's the pitch, cut inside. Robinson again, and a really good looking tackle there. He saw a big number 56. Will Marino, the senior, blue collar, lunch pail kind of guy at that DN spot. 6', 203 tackles in that week 1 win for the Patriots.
Robinson's going to make you be gap sound. And what I mean by that is, Dylan, is, he's run that ball right, but he's going to cut it back and find another hole, right? So you got to be scraping, and you got to have guys gap sound and not over pursuing and getting stacked up. And right there, you saw he got a little bit, but you didn't get a whole lot because they were pretty gap sound there and scraping and not getting stacked up and covering up all the ground they could.
3rd and 4 from the Longwood 26-yard line. There's the pitch. There's the cut inside. Good stick there by 33, Griffin Kramer, but it was...
They look a little short.
Yeah, let's watch it again. Let's see if we might have a measurement here. Look at 33, huh? Kramer just held him right up just inside the 30-yard line, and we will have a measurement.
Dylan, when you watch a football game, when you see against run plays, how hard is the defense playing? How many hats are you getting to the football, right? Right there were 3 Ward Melville defenders to the football making the tackle, and you see that touchdown, that Gaffney run to punch it in, the big pass. You can see the energy right there, and they are just about half a yard short, maybe less.
Look at that. That short of the first down. 4th down for the Lions, and looks like they'll bring the punt team back onto the field.
Like Coach Kluber gets paid the big bucks, right, to make those decisions. And I think punting's a smart move here per possession in the second half. You've played good defense most of the game, so let your defense get back to work. If you Wood Melville, though, you better watch the ball right here. Long count, a couple little counts mixed in there.
Yeah, they had nobody deep to begin with. Gaffney is the deep man back out at the 50-yard line. 4th and 1. High snap. Good punt. Nobody back, so it'll take a Longwood bounce to about the 35-yard line. You've got to go back, Mike Hungerford, to 2019, October 4th, 2019, for the last meeting between these two teams. And you see Longwood with a close win, 27-21. Fernando Rodriguez with 16 carries for 152 and a touchdown. Anelli Wanyawu with 15 carries for 148 and 2 scores. Mikey Fiore, man, he brought the lunch pail that day for the Patriots. 34 carries, 197 yards, and 3 touchdowns as Longwood pulled out the 27-21 win.
Back in that quad, that 4x1 look, it looks like here.
Hey, it worked. Why not go back to it? Belli scampers out of the pocket, breaks a tackle, and gets past that first down marker. Where Melville fans want a late flag as Belli was run out of bounds, but that's what you love as well, right? We saw it a year ago with Proust in the way that he was able to run the football, but look at Belli. The only guy I don't like here is you got to tuck the football.
They were taking a look at that single again. Belli, he didn't have it. He didn't have it there, so he ran. And he's slippery, Belli. He's got some quickness to him and gets himself skinny and gets where he got to get to. That was good stuff.
1st and 10 from the 46-yard line for Ward Melville. And again, that 4-by-1 look you've referenced as a shotgun. And this time, Belli looks like he's playing for Longwood. Takes it up the sideline. Breaks a tackle, continues to go. And a really nice gain by Andrew Belli.
Well, here's the chess match now, Dylan, right? So outside on the 4 side, you can see Longwood's got 4 players. They put 2 players to the single, and they're a little lighter in the box. So what do the Patriots do? They run the football with the quarterback. They don't have a blocker for him. They don't have a lead blocker, so he's running it without a lead blocker.
How about the motor there, too, Mike, by Max Bihar, 66. 5'11", 240, that lone returning starter in the offensive line. He got upfield, making sure that Belli was able to cut it back inside and get those extra yards.
That's why coaching defense in football nowadays is so hard. Do you think they prepared for 4-by-1? Probably something they might not have seen at all.
There goes Belli again. And Bihar, again, we mentioned the lone returning starter. Here's another cool thing I like, too, about football, right? We mentioned before the pride, spirit, heart. You see 66 there for the Patriots there on the right side of your screen. They have a tradition at Ward Melville where an offensive lineman brings a sledgehammer to every game. A year ago, Zach Licavoli gave it to Bihar to say, this is yours now for next season. 5-yard gain, 2nd and 5 from the Longwood 25-yard line. There goes Belli again, and this time he is stopped short. Really good tackle there by Hamill again.
Hamill's tough to single block right there. You know, it's a tough matchup. He gets got those long arms, gets himself arms extended, gets off the block and makes the play. 3rd and 9 now for Ward Melville.
Mentioned before, right? They pulled him on some of those boundary tosses a week ago against Pat Med, and he was just throwing cornerbacks like into the stands every play. Just really physical. Big play here, 3rd and 9. Belli, that is an incomplete pass intended for Gaffney.
I don't know if Gaffney dropped down, but I don't know if that was really going too far anyway. Hauser kind of had that one kind of sniffed out. I think he was looking for his revenge shot from the goal line on that play right there. But he had the great linebacker play, had that play pretty sniffed out. So
it's hard
down here.
Sorry, Mike, I was going to say it's hard in the sport of football when you got 11 guys on 11 guys to get those really fun one-on-one matchups. You get on the line, obviously, every play, but that's been a fun one, man, so far with Gaffney and Hauser. They're going to go here, 4th and 9 from the 29. Here comes Belli. Throws the ball over the middle. It's complete, and it's a touchdown. Brody Morgan, a 29-yard score for Ward Melville.
Great ball. On that post again. Very similar pattern we ran the first time. Let's see here with 2 receivers to the top of the screen. Just running a post. 2 posts right there. A shallow post and then a deeper post behind it.
Chance here now to tie it for Morgan after he scores the 29-yard touchdown. Snap is up, kick is up, and it is good. We've got a brand new ball game. 13-all is the score. 6:21 left, 3rd quarter. You're watching this Suffolk 1 showdown presented by Orland & Cohn on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Teed off by shoulder pain? We've got specialists for that. Realizing you've pulled out more than weeds? We've got specialists for that. Doing the twist making you shout? We've got specialists for that. Orland & Cohen's top orthopedic team has specialized expertise and extensive training from the nation's premier programs in sports medicine, knee, shoulder, hip, spine, hand, foot, and ankle. So you can feel better, faster.
Welcome back to Ward Melville. Dylan Butler, Mike Hungerford with you here on the Varsity Media Sports Network. And the guys in black, they have clawed their way back into this one, Mike. Trailing 13-0 at halftime. Then a Gaffney 3-yard touchdown run, and then Belli to Morgan there on 4th down, a 29-yard score. We are tied at 13.
Sure, and it just got to, part of football is finding what works, right? As good coaching is finding what works. They tried to run the ball in the first half a little bit out of a single back there in the 2-by-2 formation, the doubles formation. They didn't have very much success, but they came out here in the second half and they found that 4-by-1, and they found some quarterback run, and of course they found that single receiver there on the post getting open a few times, and that's 2 big plays for the Patriots offense. And we got a new game here.
We do, between the top, or 2 of the top 3 seeds here in Suffolk Division I. Little bouncer there to the 10-yard line, and a short return for Longwood. Good job in the special teams there. You see 25 for Ward Melville. It's Jake Ventimaglia.
I can tell you what, you can feel the mo a little bit, right? You can feel it a little bit. The Ward Melville guys are a little quicker, hitting a little harder. And now it's Longwood's turn now. They got to reestablish, get back to, the score is tied, but they got to get back to level here. They're playing a little bit on the heels a little bit, I think. And got to get back to level here.
I think the mistake here for Longwood is if you play too fast, right? Try to play into Ward Melville's game. Corbett spins. That's a great job by Corbett. He was going to be hit for a loss, just got himself in the spin cycle and got out for a nice gain on 1st down.
Yeah, a little double option look there to a 2 receiver side, and he kind of he's got that spin. You can see it here. We had first contact right there. Pretty much the line of scrimmage. He spins, gets out of it. That's a great 6-yard run.
Which, again, it came from the possibility of a loss on 1st down. 2nd and 4 from the 31-yard line. 5:35 left here in the 3rd quarter. Another handoff, lowering the shoulder, and there's another spin as well. Robinson gets the 1st down. He's still on his feet. There was a helmet that went going. There was a flag that went going as well. And, Mike, we see so often those flags at the end of a play. It's going to be a 15-yard. You could see a great job by our camera crew there. It's going to be a face mask against Ward Melville.
Yeah,
Let's see what variety of the face mask it is, Mike.
The Ward Melville guys got a lot of juice now, but they got to tackle, right? You got to wrap up and you can't miss. You got to keep your head up, see what you're going to tackle, belt buckle, and shimmy down, make the play.
And it's a personal foul, 15-yarder.
Kind of means there in the 15 variety there, and you were really ripping on that thing pretty good to get the 15.
3's got to go off the field. If 3's held, it comes
So
off.
1st and 10 for Longwood from the Ward Melville 33. Penalties so often play a big part in the game. Let's see if Longwood could capitalize off of this first personal foul against Ward Melville. Longwood got hit with one earlier on the kickoff. Here's the toss to the right. Robinson in the space, cuts it inside. A flag is thrown. It looks like Cosentino, 44, was in on the tackle. And we're going to bring this one back. It's going to be a holding penalty against Longwood.
That was the same play they ran before. They ran that option look, that double option look to the open side with a 2 receiver side away from Hauser at the tight end. That's just looking at the formation and seeing where the Ward Melville guys are lined up. But they get a holding penalty there. It's going to bring it all back.
And they'll bring this one back. And again, it's a spot penalty in high school, which makes it even tougher, right? When you get that hold in the backfield, you get backed up to the, in this case, to the 49. It'll be a 1st and 20 from the 49-yard line.
Options tough to defend, assignment football. And, you call it old school, right? Years ago, everybody was in some kind of an option look, and it's kind of going out a little bit out of vogue today for the zone and the spread read, the zone read look, but tough to defend.
Hey, at Longwood, they're like, what's old is new again. Here's Robinson, shifty, getting it out just past the original line of scrimmage, out to the 41.
See that safety coming downhill, flying into the picture, and Robinson just makes a miss just enough to get him maybe another half yard,
Terrence Robinson in that Week 1 win, 19 carries, 170 yards, and 3 touchdowns to lead the Longwood offense.
Big down right here, Dylan. Big down. Like we said before, 2nd down and 8. If you could get him to 3rd and 8 or 3rd and 9, you got a great shot. If they get 4 or 5 here and it's 3rd and 2, it's a little tougher.
3:36 left, 3rd quarter. Here's the handoff. Look at that job defensively. 53, the first one in. Dylan Moore with the tackle for a loss, and a huge play defensively for Ward Melville.
A lot of people in the box there, to have to deal with.
Yeah, Constantino got him up high, or Constantino, I think, got him down low, and you see Moore getting him up high.
So there's a win for the Ward Melville defense, right? You get to 3rd and 9 now, and now maybe the Longwood, staff is looking at their sheet trying to find, a play. They're in that 2-receiver look here. Maybe a combo route being run here by the receivers.
Corbett rolls right, completes his pass. That was Damian Charles, number 1.
It looks like a little short.
Charles, the senior, plays that X receiver, but also starts on defense, fast, physical. Charles had 1 reception for 10 yards. You see the flag there as well, though, on the field. Let's see.
Little in and out route there, well run. Legal man downfield.
And they will move the Lions back.
You have to take that penalty, because if you don't, it's probably going to be 4th and 1, right? And, giving the Longwood guys a yard there is a pretty makeable situation. You got to put them in 3rd and a much longer yardage situation.
A lot more laundry on the field in this 3rd quarter, and the latter stages of it. 2:29 left, 3rd quarter. We are tied at 13 in the Suffolk Division I battle. It's Longwood, the 3 seed in the preseason, and Ward Melville, number 2 seed. Dylan Butler, Mike Hungerford with you here on the Varsity Media Sports Network. 3rd and 14 from the 47-yard line. Fake the pitch. Corbett under pressure, rolls out of it, continues to run. Stick goes down, and another late flag as Corbett got his way out of bounds. Watch it again, Mike.
There. Lost a little bit of contain. I think the DN to the top of the screen went inside, jumped inside. Yep. Yeah, I think you can see there he gets him from the front of the face mask still, and I do think he gets him. And one thing I'm going to say is we're about 70 yards away here, right? 75 yards away from it. The officials are right there.
They are, and that was on, it looked like Ricciardi, number 1. So a big play there, because you potentially have him stopped, and now you move the chains. 1st and 10 from the 22-yard line. Just a shade under 2 minutes left, 3rd quarter.
I think to the Longwood left, the Ward Melville right of the defense, they lost a little bit of contain there, and that gave the quarterback, they gave Corbett the room to run around there, and unfortunately, to tack on the face mask.
A power eye look. Run the far side, Louis Caleb. Touchdown, Longwood, a 22-yard score for the Albany baseball recruit.
Pretty much untouched. Well blocked. Well executed. Some good blocking at the point of attack. Number 52. Josh Jackson with a nice block.
An all-division player a year ago, the right guard. The kick is up. It is good. So the Lions, after conceding 13 straight points, they've taken the lead again. They are leading 20-13 with 1:52 left in the third quarter. You're watching the Suffolk Division I Showdown presented by Orland and Cohn on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Teed off by shoulder pain? We've got specialists for that. Realizing you've pulled out more than weeds? We've got specialists for that. Doing the twist making you shout? We've got specialists for that. Orland & Cohen's top orthopedic team has specialized expertise and extensive training from the nation's premier programs in sports medicine, knee, shoulder, hip, spine, hand, foot, and ankle. So you can feel better, faster.
Back here under the lights in Setauket, a 20-13 lead for Longwood over Ward Melville in this big boy Suffolk battle. Game 1 of 3 here for us on the weekend. We've got 2 games tomorrow afternoon. You and I, Mike Hungerford, out at Northport as Hills East and Northport battle in that black and blue Suffolk Division II. And then we flip it over to Cary and Plain Edge, a Nassau Conference 3 battle. Next Friday night, we stay in the 5-1-6. Massapequa heading to Freeport and North Shore going to Seaford. Kick for both of those games, 6 o'clock. Off the opening kickoff. There goes Morgan again, the run, and really impressed with him, Mike Hungerford. He's impacting the game in multiple ways, is Brody Morgan. We saw him earlier get the touchdown, the 29-yard score that tied the game at 13, and good job there trying to get the return. He gets it out to the 37-yard line.
Interesting to see if Logan makes any adjustments here to the coverage to him as the receiver to the top of the screen. Once again, you're in that 4-by-1 look again. Playing a much softer coverage on him now, bringing the safety over the top.
Belli, as a man, just overthrows Jackson Weber.
Fans here looking for a penalty, I think, on that throw. Hitting the back on the receiver. One of those defenseless kind of a calls.
Yeah, that was Terrence Robinson.
Pretty close, I think. Maybe a good no call, but maybe also very close to being a penalty. But once again, you can see what they did was to his side up there on number 11 to Morgan. They have the safety over. They're playing a much looser coverage there. Might be able to get a hitch.
Looks like encroachment here likely against Longwood up front.
Looks like Longwood's got, Corbett off of him now. Probably about 7 or 8 yards, playing a little longer technique with safety help over the top.
And speaking with Chris Boltrick, they had a 34-12 win, Ward Melville did, which looks good on paper, right? But he said, we were sloppy. We didn't execute as much as some people might have liked the score. The pass here to Gaffney to the sideline, and not much doing there. You see the pursuit by 56, Tyler Hamill.
Good job by the Longwood defense, because it was on the bottom of the screen. It was 4 Ward Melville players there, Gaffney being one of them, and only 3 Longwood defenders when the ball was snapped, and they were able to pursue and get there.
But Bolchek said, look, if we don't clean up some of the things that affected us in week 1, we're going to be in for a much tougher evening this Friday than we were last Friday. There is Belli getting past the 45-yard line, which will bring up
he's a little short.
4th down.
Another one of those calls where the head coach gets paid the big bucks, right? Do you go here, and if you don't make it, you give him a short field? Do you not go punt and try to make him drive?
Try to draw him, maybe. Let's see, 4th and 2. Belli checks the sideline again, looking for Boltrek, the offensive coordinator. Under a minute left, third quarter. Handoff, Gaffney.
He's not making it.
First to him, Caleb was the second, and 56. Hamill was the first. Look at that. Hamill pulls him, and Caleb finishes him off up top.
Gaffney pressed the line of scrimmage in the beginning of the run, then bounced, and there were extra players on the outside there. I know they're asking for a measurement, but I think he's short.
They'll measure anyway, but it does appear that they were short of the first down. But listen, Kluber's right, man, about Hamill. If you're not on him yet, if you're a collegiate coach, you've got to get on Tyler Hamill, 56, man. He is a beast. We're not going to see this one, but we'll tell by the reaction, and you can see it'll be Longwood ball.
Just short.
So 46 seconds left in this back and forth game here out at Ward Melville, and Longwood would love a chance here to punch one in and get that 2-touchdown lead yet again. They did lead 13-0. That was the score at halftime. Where Melville made their way back, they tied the score 13-all, but Longwood on that Caleb 22-yard touchdown have taken the lead right back.
Now your defense got to stand tall here now a little bit, right down by a score. Almost the end of the third quarter. Got to try to get a stop.
If you look at that sideline there, all those coaches for Longwood, every one of them is a Longwood alum. And that's something that Kluber said we kind of hang our hat on. It means everything to us. Coach Hansen, he's over there somewhere on that sideline. He's been there for 30 years. Started coaching back in 1990 for them, and they all look up to them.
I got a little Coach Hansen story. Maybe we could throw it in at some point.
Okay. 1st and 10 for Longwood. There's Robinson, breaks the first tackle, gets it to the outside. Terrence Robinson gets a first down and more out to the 25-yard line. Back to that point about the coaching staff, right? You've got Andrew Ferriola as we'll look at the replay here. It's so important with Longwood, right? You got to make that first tackle. He breaks it there, you see, at the 45-yard line. And Robinson got, another 20, right? Tacked on to that run.
Yeah, there's defenders there for Ward Melville, but Robinson he's pretty slick and he makes a miss.
You've also got Andrew Ferriola, Chris Hardens. They both played for Kluber when he was in his first year coaching, and he also ended up coaching his younger brother, who's part of the staff as well. Listen, they've been running the same stuff for years, right? And they know, all those guys know what the environment is out at Longwood. They've lived it, and it's really important for the kids to relate to guys who were in their shoes. Last play here of the third quarter, and it is Robinson again with the run. We'll get that story in the fourth quarter, Mike Hungerford. It is 20-13, Longwood with the lead. We've got one quarter left here in the Suffolk Division I Showdown, presented by Orland & Cohn on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports. High school football fans, for exclusive content of the 2022 season, head to the Varsity Media Pass app. Weekly podcast, top 10 plays of the week, game highlights, and player interviews. All the content you need is right here on the Varsity Media Pass app. Available on iOS and Android. To order, visit varsitymediapass.com. Varsity Media covers every sport at every level from every angle. Game film, recruiting videos, highlight videos, sportscasts.
That's complete. First down and more. Touchdown, Oceanside.
Photography, live streaming. You name it, we offer it. Don't leave your video needs to amateurs. Trust the pros. Contact us at 516-403-2050 or visit us online at varsitymedia.net. If you're in a
final 12 minutes of regulation here just in front of us. It is the Suffolk 1 showdown between the third-seeded Lions. You see them in the sideline there of Longwood. They've got the 20-13 lead over the second-seeded Patriots of Ward Melville. Dylan Butler, Mike Hungerford with you here. And Mike, it is all to play for in these final 12 minutes. It's been a fun ball game to date, and we expect a lot more drama here in the final 12 minutes.
I think this is where, if you're the Longwood guys, you hang your hat on, we'll wear it on you now, pushing on you, running the ball, blocking. Tackling is getting harder for the Melville guys, getting a little more tired, right? The Ward Melville defense, and you hang your hat on. This is what we work for. This is who we are. 12 minutes now. We're going to come at you again, and we're going to weigh you out.
2nd and 6 from the Ward Melville 20-yard line. Handoff. Nothing doing there. Big 54 says not on my watch. That's Norman Bergmashi, the 6'1", 220-pound junior. There you see big 5'4".
He's made a few plays tonight.
He has. Trying to get himself more reps there on that defensive line. Ends up a loss of 3 on the play. 3rd and 9 from the 23-yard line.
It was one of those good plays on 2nd down that Ward Melville needed, right? They made a few of them. They have to make the play on 3rd down now.
Got to figure 4 down territory considering where the Lions are. 3rd and 9 from the 23. There's the toss right. Robinson's got blockers in front. Follows them for the 1st down and some more. And there's a late flag there as well. I love that run, Mike. We'll show it again from Robinson. He paced himself. Watch. Made sure his blockers were in the right position before he explodes to the outside.
Well, you get Hauser blocking the D end. You pull the tackle around.
Ordonez coming in at 8 as well.
Tackle gets just enough of the linebacker. And Robinson's nice and patient there, right? He waits and reads his blocks. Looks like we either got a personal foul or a face mask here. It's going to be half the distance to the goal.
So Longwood gets themselves a 1st and goal from the 5. Handoff to Robinson. Tries to kick it to the outside. And nothing doing there. Good job defensively. You see 23 Gaffney there. 1 Ricciardi.
Good pursuit there, right time they ran that ball to the boundary. Short side, and once again, if it ain't broke, don't fix it if you're Longwood, right?
Bill Marino,
the toss again.
In there as well. Ends up being a loss of 1 on 1st down.
That's what Ward Melville needs. He's a loss. Get him a 2nd down here. And, you got 4 downs here. If you can get a stop here, good stuff.
2nd and goal from the 6 with 10:08 left in this 4th quarter. Longwood a 20-13 lead. Handoff looks like that's Caleb, and he's down just inside the 5. So a gain of about 2. Devin Larson, the sophomore nose tackle, number 50 in on the tackle.
2 good plays by the Ward Melville defense. Now you're halfway there, right?
And actually gave him a gain of 1 officially, so it's 3rd and goal from the 5. Larson, a really good-looking sophomore, 5'7", 220. A stud, one of the strongest kids on the team as just a sophomore.
Kind of wonder here if you're Longwood, do you run it 2 more times, use the clock, and if you have to run 2 more times, try to get in. If you don't, they're 95 yards or more away. Or do you have something else up your sleeve here? Maybe a play action, boot.
There is that boot you mentioned, and kind of stumbling was Corbett, and he's pulled down from behind. So you give the tackle.
It's a little banged up Corbett, unfortunately. Getting up a little slowly.
Bergmashi with the tackle, but you can see, as you mentioned, right, how Corbett is kind of banged up a little bit here. So it'll be a field goal attempt.
Danny Blank, number 15.
Let's see here. It'll be a 24-yard field goal attempt. Snap is a little bit high. Blank gets it down, and he gets it through the uprights. So Blank gets the 24-yard field goal and it's a 23-13 lead. I'll give you this chance, Mike. How about that Hansen story you mentioned before?
So when preparing for the game, you had sent me some roster and some stuff on Longwood, and I saw Coach Hansen's name. And got me thinking a little bit. And many, many years ago, my first coaching job at Farmingdale was JV football. And we used to scrimmage Longwood. Farmingdale Longwood was a scrimmage opponents, even though we were both in Conference 1, different counties. It was always a great scrimmage, both varsity and JV. And at the time, Coach Hansen was coaching the JV there at Longwood. And I just thought he was a wonderful guy, the way he ran his team, did a great job, coached his guys up when you're scrimmaging. No officials on the JV level, you're just there, just getting at it. And I thought he was a great guy. We kept track of each other in terms of like how our teams did and everything. And then a couple years later, I moved up to the varsity, and we had the scrimmage again. And there he was up on the varsity. And here I am in the booth, no longer coaching football by my own choice, but here he's still at Longwood High School coaching, and I just find that's awesome. I find it to be great, and hopefully if he listens to the broadcast, Coach Hansen, great to see you still coaching, because that's part of why programs like Longwood have success, people like him.
100%, and again, we mentioned the championship history for Longwood, and Hansen is part of all of that, right? The 4 Suffolk championships from 93, 98, 04, and 15. And those 3 Long Island championships in 98, they beat Pequot 22-19. And those 2 wins over your Dalers in 04 and 15 as well. All right, let's see if Ward Melville can get the response here. Off that kickoff, there is Morgan again. Nice return for Brody Morgan.
Great return.
Gets himself out to midfield.
Kind of hold my breath a little bit. He had that ball out there a little bit.
He did. It was like a
balancing act there.
Carried it like a loaf of bread, right?
I don't see the points of pressure, but great athlete.
He did have it to the outside right there. That was the one you mentioned right there. That was another one.
It's a coach of me going, but great return.
That was basketball. That was like a carry, it looked like.
You can see how shifty he is. Awesome job.
So 1st and 10 from midfield for Ward Melville. They trail 23-13 with 8:04 left on the scoreboard. Belli back to pass. Goes over the middle. That was short and intercepted. The second INT thrown. And a big play there.
I thought maybe his hand might have got hit when the ball came out. I could be wrong. He stepped up a little bit. Yep.
You see it? You see the little wobble there. Great call by you, Mike. And you see just taking it there out of center field.
That's Hamill. Getting that little bit on his arm, I think.
And Moscatello there at cornerback making the INT. Moscatello, by the way, super tight with Louis Caleb, right? He hasn't played he hasn't played football since junior high school, but he wanted to come out and play with his boy. Louis, look at that. Makes a play like that late, or midway through, I should say, this 4th quarter.
Yeah, but just Hamill, just relentless pressure, right? That pass rushing, and he got a pretty good film for college coaches, I think. Take a look at.
No doubt about that. Toss right, and Robinson will not go down. That's been so impressive, too, about him, right? 5'9", 155. And look, you can see him there among all the big dudes, but you take that jersey, take those pads off, he is just a massively built human being.
He runs way bigger than what his weight on the roster is. That's why weights and heights and weights sometimes are a little bit awry, and everyone always puts a few pounds on guys anyway some of the time. But, you see there, he runs way bigger than that. He's very hard to bring down, and you really got to lower your pad level and keep your eyes up and shimmy down, because he's going to make you miss in those short areas.
Gain of 3. Handoff again. Rinse and repeat. Back to Robinson. Gets out toward midfield.
Good job by Riccardi right there, scraping through and making that play.
And 54.
Robinson, again, a week ago, 19 carries for 170 yards and 3 touchdowns. Robinson now to the sideline.
This is where the clock's spinning, you know. This is the battle when you're playing Longwood and you lose, you're trailing by 10, which is 2 scores, any way you cut it. And the clock is just kind of spinning on you right now. I looked up before, it was 9 minutes. I just looked here at the monitor at 6:24 and running. And, you know, it's definitely shortening the game.
2nd and 4 from the 50. There's a toss to Caleb. Great read defensively by Ward Melville. It's Gaffney.
Definitely selling out a little bit there, bringing Gaffney down from the safety spot to the box.
Watch 23 again. Bang. And he gets right by our man there as well, Tyler Hamill.
Good stop. Good stop by the Patriots D. Getting off the field 3 plays. No yardage gained.
Brody Morgan, one of the 2 deep for Ward Melville. Mack. Punt. Fumbled at the 25-yard line.
Nice punt. Good punting here tonight. High school football game, good punting.
Marzovia with the short return, and now back and forth we go. It's Ward Melville, an opportunity.
You know, Dylan, we did have a Friday night field goal, too. Remember our Friday night field goals from a year ago? We had a lot of Friday night field goals last year, and here we are it again.
Keeping up that tradition. I'm not sure if we have like a Garden City type of streak here with our field goals, but you're right. Danny Blank, a 24-yarder to make it 23-13 for Longwood. Belli forced out. Look out. He is taken down and sacked. Josh Jackson. That's Mr. Jackson if you're nasty.
Kind of playing D-end here on this side, playing the left D-end spot. Gets up the field a little bit. Belli's had a lot of success, you know, getting up in the pocket inside. This time he takes it outside, and there's Jackson out there to make the play. Good game by Jackson at guard, too, as well.
6'2", 235, an all-division player a year ago. Offensively made that transition from tackle to guard. Short pass, and it's dropped by Gaffney.
Yep, they're dropping a lot of people into coverage now. You know, Longwood kind of dropping off, trying to take a deep ball away, so you got to try and throw some stuff underneath. I like the play call to Gaffney. It was a good idea, just couldn't hook it up.
Defensively, Longwood returned 7 of 11 starters a year ago with Hauser right in the middle of that defense. That's been the strength of this Longwood team, and that's where, especially in fourth quarters, where that experience really comes to fruition. 3rd and 25. And that was an incomplete pass as well.
A little out of sync, the Melville offense right now, a little bit.
By the way, that that Pride, Spirit, Heart for Longwood, you've got to go all the way back to Kevin McCarthy back in the early 90s. That's kind of where that started. And then it continued with Sipp, when Jeff Sipp was the head coach, and what a job he did as well, right? And that name, Sipp, as there is the punt.
Sipp family.
It is synonymous with greatness, right? You had Joe Sipp Jr. out at Bellport for all those years. And as we mentioned before, it's on the decals now of the helmets for Longwood, and tradition is so important for those guys on that far sideline, and they've had it. It's been a winning one, and again, they are led by their head coach. He's somewhere over there, right? Kluber, Sean Kluber, was a starting safety, center, on that 2004 LIC championship team. He was that as a junior, was a team captain as a senior, a 2-time all-division player, went out to Hobart, was a team captain as a senior. Came back to Longwood, was John Murphy's volunteer assistant and then just couldn't get him off the staff. So we have to get a job for you. So that was in 2011. He worked with Aiden Smith in 12 and 13 and Jeff Sipp all the way through after that. Was the offensive line coach when Longwood won their last Long Island championship.
Great that a lot of guys they all went there, played there, they understand the place and the community, and that's tremendous.
It is such a big part of what Longwood is, and look at this run again by Robinson. It's easy to say, isn't it, Mike, that you always tell a running back, even at the youngest levels, right? Keep moving your legs, keep churning, and that's exactly what Robinson does.
Sure, he's just tough to bring down. You know, he gets in that hole, his pads it north-south, and he's got little moves you can see there. He's got little shifty moves, got a lot of shake. Doesn't have prototypical size, but that shake, you know, keeps guys off.
And it keeps that clock moving as well. Under 4 minutes left in this fourth quarter, and it's Longwood with a 23-13 lead here at Ward Melville.
See if the Ward Melville defense can stiffen up here and keep the Longwood guys out of the end zone. Get the ball back.
Back to Robinson.
This is where you find things to build on. You know, Dylan, I'm sorry to interrupt you. You get things to build on. You know, like you know, if you're the Ward Melville guys, you're not going to win today. You hang your hat on. It was 13-0, right? And you came back and you tied the game. And then if you get a stop here, you find things to build on for the next 6 games.
When we get a chance, we'll revisit those keys of the game, and we'll kind of maybe we don't have the telestrator, right? But we can maybe do some check marks to see who has accomplished what and what they wanted to do here in this game, as we are under 3 minutes remaining in this fourth quarter. Longwood looking to just take the air out of the football and run this clock down to double zeros and improve to 2-0 on the season. 2nd and 7 from the 37-yard line. Another handoff and another short gain, and we'll have a timeout called by Ward Melville. Here they are again. All right, let's see. Control the clock.
I would check there. They've certainly controlled the clock. Other than the third quarter, I would say they had the much better of the time possession.
Do the basics right.
Block, run, and tackle. The offensive line, tremendous job. The running by Robinson and Kellick, and they've done a good job, and they've tackled.
And they've got to be physical. They certainly have done that. Ward Melville stopped Longwood's run toss.
At times they have done that.
They
They have, but not all the time, not consistently. But I think, you know, you're going to run it 30 times in a game. You get some stops.
Being physical, but also gap responsible was another key for Ward Melville.
They've seen a little bit of that. You know, they had some big plays here and there, but they've had some very good downs of defense.
And then lastly, be disciplined, but be tough.
I think you know, late in the third quarter, early fourth quarter, some penalties. If you go back and look at the film, you know, if you're the Ward Melville coaches, a couple personal fouls, right, a couple face masks, maybe a little bit of loss of discipline there. Some of it's bad luck, some of it's just not being disciplined as well, but definitely things you can clean up.
Third down off of that timeout with 2:44 left in this fourth quarter. So pretty much a huge play defensively here for Ward Melville. 3rd and 5 from the 35. Corbett, as he has been all game, under center. Inside handoff. Louis Caleb bursts up the middle. Did he get enough? He needed 5, and he got down to the 30.
I like that there. That they've been in I formation most of the game. They went split back there with Caleb in the backfield, you know, with him, and they ran an option look. He became the fullback essentially and got in the hole real quick and got downhill and got him to a 4th and 1.
Just shy there. 4th and a yard.
Caleb can do a lot of things, you know. Essentially, he was a tailback in the fullback spot. They gave him the inside handoff there. And
Longwood will talk this over, as they will call a timeout. We'll take it with them as well. Final couple minutes here in this Suffolk Division I showdown. It is Longwood with a 23-13 lead over Ward Melville. This Suffolk 1 showdown presented by Orland & Cohn right here on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Teed off by shoulder pain? We've got specialists for that. Realizing you've pulled out more than weeds? We've got specialists for that. Doing the twist, making you shout? We've got specialists for that. Orland & Cohen's top orthopedic team has specialized expertise and extensive training from the nation's premier programs in sports medicine, knee, shoulder, hip, spine, hand, foot, and ankle. So you can feel better, faster.
We welcome you back under the lights here at Ward Melville High School. Dylan Butler, Mike Hungerford with you on the Varsity Media Sports Network as the Lions of Longwood with a 10-point lead over the Patriots of Ward Melville. Two, Mike, of the top three preseason seeds in Suffolk County. Longwood comes in at the number 3 seed. Ward Melville, the 2, the 1, no surprise, it is William Floyd.
Sure. Now that's starting to set up a couple weeks down the road. The
Parkway
right?
Bowl. Yeah, 4th and 1.
Power eye.
Hand off to Robinson. Ricciardi, it looked like, got him.
Good defense. Gonna be short.
Yeah, number 1. Watch number 1 here come in. Ricciardi, the junior. Right there, flying in.
Just found
making sure
found the window.
Yeah.
Saw the hole open up.
All right, opportunity beckons here for the Patriots of Ward Melville. Can they capitalize? Just a shade under 2 minutes left in the fourth quarter. They've got a 10-point deficit. They've got the ball at their own 31-yard line.
Well, in high school football, like in college, clock will stop on a made first down, so you don't got to get it all at once.
Belli rolls right. Looks for a man complete to Weber, who gets himself out of bounds. It was a first down anyway. Nice grab by the junior.
Good work right there. Belli put the ball in there just where it needed to be. Tight window. They rolled the pocket a little bit. Another one, a 3-level flood action right there.
A gain of 17 on the play, first down and 10 from the 48-yard line. Belli looks to the far sideline, throws it up. There was a defender that went down. It was incomplete, though. Morgan, 11, was that open receiver. Robinson was the defender who then put his arms out. It was kind of a strange play there all around, but ended up just being an incomplete pass.
Playing a softer coverage here. I don't think they're going to let him get behind them at this point in the game.
2nd and 10 from the Ward Melville 48-yard line. 1:46 left in the fourth quarter.
If you Ward Melville, maybe you could get like a hitch or something here with a little catch and run and get some big yardage out of a short one.
Belli flush out of the pocket, runs up the middle, scoots past the guy, gets inside the 30, and he's pulled down. We've seen, Mike, the athleticism of Belli as he quickly wants to get his guys set up, a little bit of a hurry up. They do stop the clock, though, as you mentioned, right, to move the chains.
And they have to set the chains. So right now the clock isn't started yet because the down marker is there, but the chains have not been set. Remember, it's high school. You have adults working the chains who are not full-time employees who don't do it for a living.
Plenty of time now. Belli checked his reads, and Tyler Hamill with the sack.
Yeah, Belli needed to get rid of that ball that time. I think he hung in there a little bit longer for his receivers to get open.
You see it again. Watch 56 come in from the top of your screen right there.
They had 2 inside routes there. I think somebody may have ran a route incorrectly there. Kind of 2 people in the same place. He kind of looked there and didn't have anybody open, and he couldn't throw it out of bounds to get rid of it. So.
Reminder that we've got a couple games up tomorrow afternoon as well here on the Varsity Media Sports Network. We stay in Suffolk County, where it's Hills East heading to Northport. Tigers looking to avenge last year's loss to the Thunderbirds. That's a 1:30 kick out at Northport. Mike and myself will be on the call for that. And then it's Cary home for Plain Edge. A 2 o'clock kick for that one. And we fast forward to a week from now. A couple of Friday Night Lights battles. Love it. Massapequa, Freeport. Two programs that have some history. That'll be a 6 o'clock kick in North Shore and Seaford out in Nassau Conference 4. 2nd and 16 off of that sack. Belli has a man wide open. It's complete. Trevor Murray.
Clock's going to stop on the Nate first down. They have a little bit of time.
Okay,
17-yard gain. Going end zone. Diving catch. Touchdown, Ward Melville. There he is again, Jackson Weber.
Great pass, great catch, and he's a little banged up. Quarterback. I wouldn't know if I'd call this a sprint. This is him working as best he can here. Great ball.
15-yard touchdown pass from Belli to Weber. Let's see this point after attempt. Snap is good. Morgan with the attempt. And that is good as well. How about this one, Mike Hungerford? A 23-20 score. We'll have the final minute when we return right here on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Teed off by shoulder pain? We've got specialists for that. Realizing you've pulled out more than weeds? We've got specialists for that. Doing the twist making you shout? We've got specialists for that. Orland & Cohen's top orthopedic team has specialized expertise and extensive training from the nation's premier programs in sports medicine, knee, shoulder, hip, spine, hand, foot, and ankle. So you can feel better, faster.
Welcome back to Ward Melville. It is a 23-20 lead for Longwood here, just a shade under a minute remaining in the fourth quarter. Dylan Butler, Mike Hungerford, what a game we've had here for you on the Varsity Media Sports Network. Back and forth we've gone, and comes down to this one. If you are Longwood, you get your hands team up front, and they certainly do. If you look at some of those guys up front, 35, you've got Miles Flagg. He's your fullback. You got Damian Charles, number 1, up top 2. You've got Hauser as well on the line. It all comes down to this onside kick here for Ward Melville.
Onside kicking is harder than it's ever been. The rules have kind of taken out some of the actions on the onside kick and the alignments.
Morgan goes far sideline, takes a nice roll, but it goes out of bounds. It got past those first guys, which is so key.
So you see there in the X and O's explanation there, the edge player, right, is supposed to be the last guy, the edge, for player for Ward Melville, trying to run that sideline, bat the ball in and make a play on as it kicks around. He just couldn't get there, but that's a good looking attempt right there by Ward Melville.
Obviously it goes out of bounds, so it will be Longwood ball, and they can just go to victory formation here and eke out an impressive road win for the Lions. Again, a year ago, they were 4-5. But you return so many players from that team, and they will start the season now, barring anything unforeseen, at 2-0.
And Ward Melville guys are relatively young, right? Don't return some very good players, have some really good young players getting their first game actions the last couple of weeks. So now, the Ward Melville guys will go back to back to work and build off what they did well here tonight. They didn't pack it in. They played to the last play and did a great job of that. And they have a lot to build off of Coach Boltrick and the Longwood guys. They're on a mission a little bit. The older team they have, and trying to go game by game and keep his Longwood tradition and get back to the championship game. And they look pretty good.
They certainly did, going back to that old school smash mouth football. I love the tweet there by Coach Kluber. He said it after the win over Pat Med. Said smash mouth football is back in Middle Island. They proved that here tonight on the road. An impressive 23-20 win over Ward Melville. So Longwood, they'll next take on Walt Whitman in a week's time before that big Parkway Bowl battle against Floyd. So they could potentially be 3-0 going against Floyd, who could be the same. That could be a tremendous game. Always is when those two proud, tradition-laden programs meet. It was a fun one, Mike Hungerford, and it came down to really the last play, that onside kick that went just awry for the Patriots. They fall now to 1-1 on the season, and again, Longwood improves to 2-0. For our entire varsity media crew here, Dylan Butler, broadcast partner Mike Hungerford as well. Again, 2 games tomorrow afternoon. You want to subscribe to us here on our YouTube channel. You don't want to miss anything. And, of course, everything during the week on the Varsity Media Pass. There's our upcoming schedule. Hills East, Northport, Plain Edge, Cary, Pequea, Freeport, and North Shore, Seaford. You don't want to miss a moment of any of those games and so much more during the season. Dylan Butler, thank you for joining us here from Ward Melville, and we'll see you next time on the Varsity Media Sports Network.